the context is different, but the struggles are common. Now we'd like to go to the end of today's technical session, and we will now hear on the NUA progress, New Urban Agenda progress that Nepal has achieved. Dr. Sangeeta Singh, who was supposed to be presenting today, just informed us that she will not be able to make it for the presentation, but for a good reason, because she has been nominated as the member of the National Planning Commission. So, which is very good for us as an urban planner and a dedicated person with such a strong background to be the member of the National Planning Commission. However, her research associate, the assistant Bijay, Dr. Bijay Singh, is here with us to give a brief overview of the New Urban Agenda Progress Report. So over to you, Bijayji, and please be brief, and the mic is yours.
Thank you, Pragya. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to present in front of you, and also the brief about the progress that we have made in the New Urban Agenda commitment, the implementation of the New Urban Agenda. It has been the presentation has been done in the short notice, so pardon me if I will bore you or something that I speak something irrelevant. So. Okay, I have prepared. We have prepared the overall outline that we'd like to present today. There will be four key features of the presentation. The first, I would be presenting on some of the key background and the context of the Nepal's engagement in the New Urban Agenda, the goals and objectives that the New Urban Agenda tries to pursue, and some of the key challenges that Nepal has faced as a part of the progress. And the second part, I would like to present the process that we have the process that we have tried to follow, some of the limitations and the key steps that we have taken till now, and the steps that we'll be taking in the future. And in the third part, I will try to present some of the brief of the progress that we has made based on the NUA guidelines, which has been presented. I'll narrate some of them, and possibly they will be underlined on the 3 transformative commitments, the effective implementation, and the follow-up process that we have or we will follow in the future. And at the end, I'll be briefing on what could be the possible way forward for achieving our New Urban Agenda progress. So if we look back a brief history about how we have been engaged, how Nepal has been engaged with Habitat, we can see that Habitat first was the first United Nations Conference on Human Settlements, which was organized in the Vancouver, Canada. Post Habitat 1, Nepal has developed some of the policy measures in the areas of shelter and human settlements. So Habitat 2 was convened in Istanbul, Turkey, 3rd to 14 June 1996. On the 20th anniversary of the Habitat 1, and the post-Habitat 2, Nepal has been able to achieve three key milestones. First is like they were able to develop the LSGA Local Self-Governance Act 1999, 20-year plan of actions, and also the National Urban Policy 2007. So the Habitat 3 builds on the work from the Habitat 2, as well as the agreed commitments that Nepal has made on the global frameworks like 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 to 2030, the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, the Addis Ababa Action Agenda of the Third International Conference on Financing for Development. So Nepal has prepared a Habitat 3 report as per the UN Habitats Guideline and format covering 6 topics, 30 issues, and 12 indicators. Just briefing about what are the objectives of the New Urban Agenda, as we have all been well acquainted with the objective, the goal, to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, sustainable, and smart, to enhance the ability to provide decent jobs and adequate housing, infrastructure, and services to the ever-growing urban populations. The objectives that New Urban Agenda has taken are the sustainable and inclusive urban prosperity and opportunities for all, sustainable urban development for social inclusion and poverty eradication, leaving no one behind, and finally, the environmentally sound and resilient cities and human settlements. Today, we understand them as the transformative commitments for the sustainable urban development. So brief about the key challenges that Nepal has faced till now. The first one being the national level restructuring. After the promulgation of the Constitution 2015, Nepal has been restructured into 3 tiers of government: local, provincial, and federal governments. And it has actually altered how the management and response to urbanizations take place. So the contextualizing sustainability topics into the lowest structural level, let's say municipalities, in terms of responsibilities, capacity, and knowledge, and most importantly, political and administrative coordinations with service providers and other administrative levels have still been troublesome. And Nepal has been trying to figure out to decentralize it more in an effective manner. The second challenge that has Nepal faced is about the post-Gorkha 2015 Gorkha earthquake. So on the one hand, the earthquake has been one of the major hurdles to overcome the shelter adequacy and other infrastructural demands and economic deficiency. Whereas on the other hand, it has also provided the opportunity to the government of Nepal to rethink, reassess the urban issues, governance, and our governance for the urbanization trends and incorporation of such natural disaster for the future goals. And the third being the recent COVID outbreak, the COVID-19 outbreak, which has been also the major hurdle to global major hurdle, not only taking into account the health issues, but also the snowball effect and the rebound effects of some of the economic and infrastructure impacts that the Nepal will face in the future years. So most importantly, the outbreak has also exposed the lack of infrastructure required for such an outbreak. So this has been the basic outline or the methodological framework that we try to use in order to analyze the context and also the propose for the future plan of actions. So currently we are trying to understand the context and have collected informations on the national reports, plan of action, how much progress we has made, and some of the changes and decision drivers, for example, the impact of COVID-19 and the impact of the earthquake, and also the key policy changes that has been the key barriers as well as sometimes the enablers. So the next phase we are trying to do is how we can the framing and the knowledge priorities based on our understanding. We'll try to see the gaps that exist in the intent and also the practices of plan of action, considering the domains, and also try to see the possible areas of synergies as well as the trade-off. And after that, we'll try to see based on our based on the interactions with the different stakeholders, what are the emerging integrated solutions, how they can be transformed and experimented, and based on the learning from them, we'll try to see if those solutions or the actions are transferable, can be scaled up, or can be shared and collaborated. So we'll try to incorporate all of them into as a outcomes for the policies and practice and try to update plan of action. So till now, we have come to the second stage. We have organized a team of experts that includes the team leader, urban planner, infrastructure experts, social infrastructure experts, planner, economic experts, and also we have collected collected and analyzed information from the various literature as well as the various policies, documents, plans, and projects that different line agencies and especially the Ministry of Urban Development has promulgated and implemented. So our aim was to find the key drivers and enablers where the urban across the different line agencies and the policy frameworks, where the urban planning issue came as cross-cutting themes, and we have tried to divide them into the three headings, which are like the transformative commitments for sustainable urban developments, effective implementation, and the follow-up process. So we are in this stage. We have collected information from various data and have tried to differentiate it under different headings. So the next stage, we'll hold a national workshop to review the findings from the literature review, and we'll try to see based on our interactions what are the gaps between what those policy frameworks and projects have intended and what is there happening in the practice on the ground, and also we'll try to interact to find the emerging integrated solutions, and we try to learn them. We try to see if they are transferable, if they can be scaled up, shared, and collaborated among different tiers of the governance. So then finally, we'll try to agree on findings and issues and challenges and prepare the final report. So, this has been one of the tricky part for us, and as I have said, we have collected different information and have to try to differentiate it on the different headings. So transformative commitments months that refers to the sustainable urban development for social inclusion and ending poverty for social inclusion and poverty. The second being the sustainable inclusive urban prosperity and opportunities for all. And the third commitment being the environmentally sustainable and resilient urban development. I'll just narrate some of the key points from our notes. I hope it will be okay. So if we talk about the sustainable social inclusion and ending poverty, Nepal has in the process is trying to promulgate the poverty alleviation policies and also try laws to effectively streamline poverty alleviation program across all tiers of governance. So through the 15th plan, Nepal has already aimed to provide legal identity cards to the poor and integrate into the national identity card systems, and also has allocated the budget for the fiscal year 2022 and 23 to generate employment and alleviate poverty. Nepal has also tried to aimed to ensure through the 15th plan to gender equality at all tiers and sector level policies and at governance structures, and has strategized to institutionalize a system of gender responsive budget, a data system to measure gender equality and empowerment, and also give special priority to economically poor and socially excluded women. The 15th plan has also made provisions for opportunity for the people with disabilities to easily access to different public service, and also aims at generating physical structures, disability friendly, creating rehabilitation centers, and also ensure access to information communication technologies. Nepal has promulgated as a milestone as the act relating to rights of persons with disabilities, as well as the rights relating to children. In terms of the access to the adequate housing, Nepal has already pledged the Nepal Shelter Policy 2012 to address the housing and urbanization problems of low-income households, including slums, rental housing, and housings for internally displaced. One of the key milestones post proposed new urban agenda commitment is the enactment of the Right to Housing Act 2018 that makes provision of housing to the landless Dalits, the marginalized community, within the next 3 years. The Right to Housing Act also provides the legal basis now to construct and operate rental housing with private and cooperative investments, and build and operate renovate buildings with private and cooperative investment, and mandates the government, provincial or local level, to provide home and concession financing facilities to the person and family without house and land ownership within Nepal, or unable to arrange housing and unable to for housing, or have been displaced permanently due to natural disasters. The government has already started this, has been working on this people's housing program since 2009, and the program has further get reinforced because of this, the new act, the Right to the Housing Act. So the 15th plan also reflects some of the commitments that Nepal has made, and targets approximately 2 million housing units to be constructed by 2023, out of which some 400,000 housing units will be needed for the poor, endangered, and marginalized communities. For the fiscal year 2022 and 23, the government has already made a target to build 100,000 cost-effective houses with basic facilities from the not only from the government perspective, but also from the private sector. In terms of the security, land area security, the national land policy that 2019 that the government of Nepal has adopted is committed to securing tenure and land ownership. As a result, we can see that the budget 2023 gives priority to the management of the landless Dalits, squatters, and unorganized settlers. This has been also included in our National Urban Development Strategies 2070s that encourage cooperative mechanisms for the production of housing for the economically weaker sections. I have a very long list of narratives, so I won't be able to complete all of them. But what I can assure you from the presentation is that Nepal is committed to the urban agenda and has been working on it across different line agencies, and not only the Ministry of Urban Development and the concerning line agencies working on it, but it has been one of the cross-cutting team across different line agencies. Nepal has also developed some of the frameworks that enables the decentralization, and also vests the local government and the provincial government to work on various so on the second part, as a part of effective implementation, Nepal has also developed different supportive framework. One of the most notable one being the Local Government Operation Act 2017, which empowers the local authorities to make their own laws, and also have some authorities related to the resource mobilization, as well as the as well as some of the infrastructure related development programs. For example, road. One of the key features of this supportive framework also is about this Disaster Risk Reduction Management Act, which also empowers the local government to include the plans and programs related to the natural risk, disaster risk management at the local government level. And also in terms of the participatory process, Nepal has also make it simpler, the 14 planning stages into 7 planning stages, where the participation from the civil societies and the marginalized groups becomes the key. So these are, Nepal has also promulgated through National Urban Policy 2009, which is in the draft stage, and the National Urban Development Strategies, which have tried to integrate all of them urban spatial developments. So they are some of the, this is also there. Okay, what happened? So in terms of follow-up, I don't know what happened. So this has been proposed in the National Habitat Tree Report, and we are trying to track the progress of the plan of action based on that. If you can see the strategies and plan of action, there are like 30 indicators, and we have been tracking based on those indicators how far we have gone. So the key reflections that we found out is like, with the adoption of new constitution and consequent Local Government Operation Act 2017, the notions of this sustainability and sustainability issues have been actually contextualized at the local level. That realigns in the sense of transformative urban commitment that we have made, and are thus in the sense of new urban agenda. Similarly, the National Urban Development Strategies 2017, which have aimed for improving the urban quality of the life and balanced urban system, are in general complementary to the goals of new urban agenda. So similarly, Nepal's effort to sustain adequate drinking water and sanitation infrastructure improvements, preventing national environmental degradation, and also the improving the local governments are covered mainly from an urban policy framework, which is in the draft stage, as well as other development efforts and plans and projects enacted by different line agencies. And finally, the 15th plan has envisioned an equitable society based on social justice and attain the sustainable development goals by ending absolute and multi-dimensional poverty by 2030 and graduate to a middle-income country, and to reach the level of developed countries by 2043. So that's also what the new urban agenda has expected for the economic prosperity. So these are some way forwards. We think that for the future, we have to find the key issues related to the more decentralization on the urban government structures, and also develop some more spatial and territorial level planning process in terms of urbanization, and especially the implementation of national urban development strategies. And finally, in terms of financial resources and guideline and frameworks should be provided to the local level as a proper means of implementation. With that, I'd like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Singh. And sorry, we need to wrap up very quickly. So would request Bruno to provide token of appreciation to Dr. Singh. And thank you very much for your presentation. Even in a very short notice, you could give us a comprehensive overlook of NUA report preparation process as well as the results. And with this, we would like to end today's first day of our SPP.